Well, look, Mr. Curtis, you gotta give me an alibi. If Decker asked for one, you gotta say I was working all night that night.
Hey, look! I offered you a deal, kid, and you turned it down. So don't come to me looking for office, huh?
But the deal, it was crazy, Mr. Curtis.
Suit yourself.
Wait a minute, you were talking about shooting Mr. Wheeler.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, but, listen, you know I'd do everything you say. You know I would, but this is different.
Hey, look, no buts, right, huh? You gotta make a choice, now. You go along with me, or I go along with Decker. So you gotta figure out which way your best shot lays. With me, or back in the slammer, where you came from.
Hey, Weasel.
You can't be meaning me, Decker, so why don't you just keep on walking?
Weasel's an animal who lives in a hole and eats rats for breakfast. Yeah, I'm talking to you all right.
Well, I'm not listening, so it looks like you're talking yourself. Hope you listen real good.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen. And you're gonna talk. All about what you were doing on the night of October the 8th.
How the hell can I remember back that far? I was probably pouring booze just like I do every other night.
Yeah, well, if you strain that mind of yours real hard, I bet you can remember. October the 8th, right? It ought to stand out real clear. October the 8th. That's the night you beat up Don Marshall.
Man, being a cop must get to your mind real easy, you know that? You're starting to think up all sorts of crazy stories. Like I told you before, Decker, you ain't no kind of cop now. And even when you was, you didn't have the class to have Houston for your beat. So why don't you just haul your butt back to Marshall County and go bust up some chicken thieves, huh? Now that'd be more like your style, now wouldn't it, huh?
Yeah, you're right. I'm not a cop. That means no more badge, no more handcuffs, no more constitutional rights for trash like you. No more cop. Just a guy with questions. And my own two fists to give me the answers.
Use your fist creeping, I'll call a cop!
Yeah, why don't you call the SPCA? Maybe they'll listen to you.
Mr. Curtis, tell him!
Tell him? Tell him what?
Tell him about October 8th or whatever it was when Don Marshall got beat up!
Too late, right? Curtis already told me. He doesn't remember for sure.
Well, that's true. That's what I said, all right. But, something Billy Joe said just jogged my memory.
What do you mean your memory's jogged?
Billy Joe was working all right. All night.
Sounds like a mighty strange memory to me. I'd like to know what jogged it.
Something Billy Joe said just brought it all back.
It's funny, I don't remember him saying anything.
Maybe he wasn't listening.
October 8th. That's what did it. Billy Joe said he was probably pouring booze that night, the night of October 8th. And that's what brought it all back, because on October 8th, Wright was really pouring booze for this old broad whose husband had just croaked. She had just come into his $10.2 million, and she was so drunk she didn't know whether she was grieving or celebrating. Kept pouring down the bourbon and water and saying, 10.2. 10.2.
That's right, the 10.2 lady. Sure, I remember. That was some plastered old broad if I ever did see one. Man, I never made so many drinks for a customer in my whole life. I'll tell you something. So you got me jumping all night.
What are you trying to feed me, Curtis? I said October the 8th the last time I talked to you. Didn't do anything for your memory then. What kind of story you feeding me now?
Officer Decker.
Ex-Officer Decker.
Who said anything about a story? You know how the human mind works.
Yeah, some work mighty shifty.
The mind is a very complicated machine, Decker. One day you can't remember something for the life of you. And then the next day, there it is, just like you never forgot it. The last time we talked to each other, I couldn't remember anything about October 8th. But now with Billy Joe's help, I can. That's all there is to it.
Okay, Weasel, you got your alibi. And I guess I can't get you arrested. Yet.
Man, you couldn't get yourself arrested. You watch yourself, you ex-pig cop. Because I know my rights, whether you read them to me or not. And from what you've been pulling here today, man, you know, I could swear out a complaint assault against you. You know that? Complaint assault? I just might do it, too.
That's so you remember what you're talking about and what you're complaining about, punk.
I baby that turkey long enough. I help back like a damn saint because I just don't like to beat up on anybody, especially somebody who doesn't know how to really handle himself. But this doesn't. I'm really mean it. I'm about to set that boy straight.
Okay. Listen, I'm sure Decker knows he better watch his step. And if not, you can educate him, but do it later. Right now, we got important business to take care of. Now dry off and help yourself to some of my clothes and wait for me. I'll be back.
I'm not waiting around for nobody. I'm going after that country creep now.
Hey! Either you wait for me, or I'll go after that country creep and tell him that my memory's been playing tricks on me again.
Hey, Mr. Curtis, you just got to
I know what I said. And I'll keep my word right. I'll do what you want, as long as you do what I want. That's better. I thought you'd see it my way. Now, I'm going to a little job interview at KVIK. When I get back, you and I will have our first official conference. Hey, and, right.
Yeah?
Plan on a long conference. We got lots to talk over. Careful plans to make. After all, you gotta be careful when you're planning an assassination attempt on the likes of Alex